So this will be the first of a couple, hopefully short videos to get you started using Illustrator. First thing you'll want to do is, on your Mac, go down here, find the Illustrator icon, and double click to open it up. And again, if it's not there, you can go to the Launchpad and do a search up here and it'll find it. Okay, you can double click on that. Okay, so once you've opened up the document, you have some presets you can use to click on, or you can create new. So let's do create new, and you may see that it's got letter here, and that's what we want to do is create a letter size document. If it's not here, up the top you have some different types, sizes of documents. So you have a document size for mobile, for web, for print, for film and video. If you go to print, you can select letter and click on that. Okay, and to highlight it, now you'll see over here that you have width and point value. If you want to work in inches, you can click here and change it to that. I don't really care early on. Later you'll need to know this, but I'll go over that again. So let's go ahead and hit inches. Now we're going to have a document that's 8.5 inches by 11 inches tall. That's your orientation. If you want to do a landscape, a wide version, you would click here and it swaps out the width. So we'll just do that for now and create. And so here is your basic Illustrator interface. We'll just go over a couple things right now early on. This is probably what you'll see when you open up Illustrator on the Macs in the lab. Over to the left, you should have the toolbar. These are most of the different tools you'll be using with Illustrator. If it's not here, not visible, if you go to the Window menu, this is where you can call up all these other individual toolbars and palettes and things like that. So go to the toolbar, and if it's not there, you can select one. It's got an advanced and a basic. You can choose between those two. Basic just makes it a little simpler. Either one of those is okay. Now on the toolbar, what you do is select these individual tools to do certain things. This tool is a selection tool. It moves shapes. This tool is a direct selection tool. It moves vertexes or points, as I'm going to refer to the little dots connecting lines on a shape. This is the pen tool. That's how you draw freeform shapes. You have a rectangle tool. If you look at this icon, you'll see this little arrow here. If you click on that, that means that there are more tools underneath here. So if you click and hold, you get a rectangle tool, an ellipse tool, polygon, star, and line segment tool. So let's start with this tool first. So there's that tool. Oh, one more thing down here at the bottom. These two squares. These indicate what color a shape is going to have when you draw it. So right now it's going to have a fill color of white and an outline color of black, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. But I'm going to get my rectangle tool and I'm going to click and drag. And I can drag this out to whatever size I need. And you'll see if I get my selection tool and click off, I've got a rectangle with a black outline and a white fill. You can drag it off the page and see that that is a fill and not the color of the document. Okay, you can drag from left to right, right to left. You can drag any old shape out you want. If you hold down the Shift key and click and drag and hold down Shift, that will constrain it to an actual square, perfect square. Okay. Now up here, when you've got a shape, after you draw a shape, it leaves it selected. Okay. And you'll see this little blue outline around things. That indicates that this is a selected shape. If you want to reshape it after you've drawn it, you'll see these little handles here, these little squares. If I click and drag that, I can squash it. I can resize it that way. I can resize it this way. I can grab a corner and resize it again. And this works for every shape you draw. So let's just real quickly click and drag out a circle. Same thing. I can drag whatever size I want. If I hold down the Shift on the circle, I get a perfect circle. Again, I can get the selection tool and click and drag those. Okay. Now go back to the square. Something else I can do is, so I can drag that. If I hover the mouse just above that, you'll see those 2 arrowheads pop up. What that does is when I see that, if I click and drag, I can rotate that. Okay, so I can rotate my shape. Okay. And if I want to get rid of a shape with it selected, I can just select it and hit the delete key. I can click and hold shift and grab multiple shapes, delete those. Okay. And now I've got an empty screen. Now what you can also do is you can zoom in and out on your document. Down here in the bottom left, this percentage value, you can click and it has some presets. You can click on those. Make your document larger or smaller. I can also get the magnifying glass tool, the zoom tool. If I hover over here, I see a plus sign. That means it's going to zoom in. If I hold down the option key on the keyboard, that changes to a minus sign, and I can click and zoom out. Okay. All right, one more thing is I'll show you the rectangle tool. I'll draw that out, and again, I've got black and a white outline. If I want to change the color of the inside of the shape, you have the stroke and the fill. The stroke is the outline, the fill is the color inside of the stroke. Up here at the top, with this selected, I see these little drop down menus here. There's a white square, which is the same as that white square. If I click, I'll get a palette of colors I can click on, and that changes the fill color. Stroke, I can click and select a color, and it changes the stroke color. Okay? So you can zoom up and see that. Now also the stroke has a width. You'll see up here beside that is a 1 point width. If I click the arrow and go up, I can increase the width of that stroke. I can also click here and select something different, or I can go ahead and I can just type in the width I want to use. Okay? So that's how you can change the color of the fill, the color of the stroke, and the stroke width. So you can make some simple alterations that way. Okay, so that's all for this video. I'll do another short one and show you how to use the pen tool.